Hey everyone, sorry it's been a little while since my last post on my blog, but also been a while since my last video blog, and I felt the need to respond in a video instead of trying to write it all out to the latest or some of the latest articles I've read that basically were attacking travel agents. And I don't mind somebody attacking in any industry if there's people in that industry that need to be called out, and there are agents in my particular industry that do need to be called out. And the article was right in naming some of the issues with some of the travel agents. But the latest article posted by Chris Elliott on MSNBC had some good information in it, and basically he was responding to another article that he wrote in favor of travel agents. And there's all these people out there that for some reason have in their mind that there's never a reason why you should ever use a travel agent. And so Chris was responding to that on certain times that you don't need to use a travel agent. And basically I want to respond to that because he had some misinformation in there, and it's misinformation that a lot of people basically believe, and it's just because they don't know. And it's things I didn't know a few years ago before I became a travel agent. And now that I'm in the industry and trained and work in it and travel, there's a lot of things I realize now that I was completely wrong about several years ago. So I want to expand on that and basically correct the misinformation that's been reported. But before I do that, let's touch on the things he was correct about. Yes, there are travel agents that have no business being in the travel business. They don't travel. A lot of them sit behind a desk, they get their job, and they think their job is basically just to take orders when the phone rings to ask them about a trip. They cannot advise you because they have zero experience in the actual travel world. That is why when I set out, in my business particularly, I was doing my research on what would make a successful travel agent several years ago, and I basically followed suit with a guy who had started his own business and became a huge success in travel business. But the first thing he did when he started his business was not sell travel. He went traveling just so he could get experience. And that's why I particularly like to go on my trips and spend my money, and I've allotted that money in my business so I could get out and experience real-life travel in a variety of different ways, so I can speak very firsthand about some of the issues that every traveler comes across in most places. So that he was right in that. Number two, he was right about agents that seem to not care about your business, and that's regardless of travel business. That's any business. We are in an age now where customer service probably is at an all-time low, and things are going at a much faster pace, and people think they need to make as much money as they can fast, and customer service has taken a hit. Customer service has taken a hit because of it. And yes, in the travel business, we have people that lack zero customer service. My business is not gigantic in regards or in respect to all the other travel agents across the country, but I keep mine to a certain level because I want to give each client the right level of customer service where they'll always be able to come back to me or at least refer people to me as well. So yes, he's right. Those two categories, he was completely right in the article. And again, that's not just travel business, that travel industry, that's our nation as a whole in a lot of industries as far as those things go. So pick a travel agent who is trained and who travels and has experience, and pick a travel agent who cares. So that ought to be the number two, the two top criteria when you go to select a travel agent. Now here's where he was wrong. Here's where a lot of people are wrong. There's a lot of people that think they're going to do it on their own. And I put that way because people think they're doing it on their own as far as booking their own travel when they go to travel online portals like Travelocity, Orbitz, Hotwire, Priceline, Expedia, etc. All of those online travel portals are travel agents. And if you doubt what I'm telling you, next time you go to one of their sites, scroll all the way to the bottom of their website, and you'll see in a little fine print that they have a license to sell travel in certain states because they are a reseller of travel, just like I am a reseller of travel. I use wholesalers most cases, or I go direct to suppliers like hotel chains, cruise lines, etc., and I resell that travel. Now, it does not cost you any more for me to do that unless I charge you a service fee that is upfront agreed upon. For me to book your travel through cruise lines, hotels, tour operators, suppliers, all-inclusive resorts, etc., does not cost you an extra dime. And so that was one of the other issues that he reported about, saying that travel agents cost more. So let me get this straight. If you use an online travel portal because you think you're doing it on your own, you are using a travel online agent. You just do not have a person you're speaking to, and which is unfortunate, because when things go wrong, you do not have a point of contact, and things will go wrong in some cases, even if you're doing it on your own. So next time you think you're doing it on your own as far as booking travel goes, go to the bottom, see where it says they have a license to sell travel, especially states like California, etc., require that your agency has a license to sell in their state, and you're going to see that they are a reseller or a travel agent. They're an agent on behalf of who they're selling. Because when's the last time you took a cruise on Orbit Cruise Lines or Orbit's Cruise Lines or Travelocity Airways or Expedia Resort All-Inclusive in Mexico? You don't, because they are a reseller of travel. So let's get that perfectly clear. You're not really doing it on your own. You're using a travel agent. You're just using one that's computerized versus calling somebody like myself or anybody else in my industry that is a legitimate travel agent to book your travel. And then again, as far as costing more, if anything, it'll cost you less. It'll cost you the same to use a travel agent, or if anything, like I said, it might cost you less, or it could even benefit you in the way of helping you not miss a trip. And I've got examples personally where I've helped my clients. So I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just giving you examples of where using a travel agent was extremely beneficial to some clients. And I'll give you one perfect example. Aloha Airlines went out of business a couple years ago. Several people had Hawaiian vacations planned with Aloha Airlines. Well, when Aloha Airlines went out of business or filed bankruptcy, they basically left a lot of people high and dry. Their contract of carriage didn't state they had to rebook everybody for the same price. I know people that didn't use me or somebody I knew in the travel business, friends of mine or relatives even, that went with another venue to book their own travel. And when Aloha went out, they were stuck because they could not afford to buy the next set of airline tickets to replace the ones they purchased, and their trip was canceled. I had clients who, because I went through one of my reputable suppliers that I use all the time, who got rebooked. Didn't cost them an extra dime. In fact, their flights were actually a little bit better with the particular carrier that they got them booked on, and it didn't cost my clients a dime. They won their vacation, they had a great time. That didn't happen for a lot of people that booked on their own. So there's a perfect example where my relationship with my supplier, when I called them and told them about the issue, paid off on helping my clients have their vacation as they had planned. It actually worked out even a little bit better. So, and I can give you more, but that's just one example. As far as costing more, some agents do charge service fees. I charge service fees for airline tickets alone because the airline industry is in such bad shape financially. They don't pay commission to anybody. And so if I book a solo airline ticket, I charge a service fee, and I've done that for people, and it's just part of my service. And you have the right to not use me for airline tickets, and I don't get bent out of shape if somebody doesn't want to go through me for airline tickets. But I know some agents that charge upfront fees because they're tired of doing a lot of research for people and then having those people take the research they've done for them and go out and book their own travel, because we don't get salaries. My living that I make is solely when somebody has booked a trip through me. They take the trip, and then I get paid by the suppliers because of their built-in costs to encourage travel agents to bring clients. But I know some people that charge upfront service fees because they don't want to get burned. I don't right now in my business, but I know some that do, and I don't fault them for it. If they do, I know the agents that do will reimburse the client at the time they book the travel for the amount that they charge, so it's still not costing them any extra. So get to the facts when it comes to travel and the travel industry. There's so much wrong information being reported about the use of a travel agent that it just, as you can tell, it kind of gets me a little riled up. And you may not care. You may see this video and think, I never want to use a travel agent because I got burned. Well, that's unfortunate, because there's a lot of industry that I've gotten burned in myself. And I may not want to use that particular person in that industry, but I don't blame the whole industry on it. And I might try to find somebody else that was a little more reputable the next time I go about doing whatever that is, or purchasing whatever that item is that I was going to purchase or service. So anyway, there's my clarification. Sorry for the rant, but yeah, I'm getting a little riled when I see misinformation. I'm tired of seeing deals on the internet that are not deals if you really decipher the deal and get to the final page where you actually book the vacation. But people think because they're doing it online, they're saving X amount of dollars. And I've done my research. I've done my homework. I'm not speaking out of school. I've priced my vacations for clients through the reputable suppliers I use, wholesalers, and then I've gone back and actually tried to look at the same vacation, apples to apples, on some of these online travel portals, and many times I'm either at the same cost or I beat it because of the logistics that I've found for my clients that are much better than what they're selling on some of those online sites. So anyway, there you go. There's my rant of the day, my video blog post. Comment, question, even air your dirty laundry to me. I don't care as far as if you're not happy with what I'm saying, and we'll go from there. Hopefully, the next video will have some more tips. And I'm getting ready to take a cruise on Princess Cruise Lines, and I'll be posting from that and giving you my experience with Princess from the way of service, the ship, ports to call, etc. That's in 21 days, not that I'm counting. So we'll be talking to you soon.